This is gonna be a hard one. I feel like a lot of content creators go through these sort of hiatuses. I mean, come on, George R.R. Martin. 12 years and we still don't have a Winds of Winter? The point is, I didn't take 12 years to come back. Only 2 months, luckily. In fact, in that amount of time, I've only read one book, and I've done like virtually no listening to any of the books. Especially since way back when I was doing content creating, I was reading books almost daily. Yes, I lost my motivation like a lot of content creators do from time to time. And I'm not trying to make any excuses, but there was a series of events that caused my motivation to go down. So don't mind me if things kind of turn bleak. See, it's already starting to come in and I haven't even started yet. So it all started on September 26th. My mini schnauzer Pepper, she see, a lot of people, I mean not a lot of people, there are some people who their dogs are pets. And my mini schnauzer, my first dog, I've never had to put down a dog before until her. I mean, it was my first dog. She started to get sick. She was 13 years old. She was old. Her liver started to fail, and the doctor agreed that there was nothing that we could do. So I had to make the decision to put her down. And I thought I was prepared for that, but holding my best friend, my first daughter essentially, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I was not prepared to hold her and her heart to stop beating. It was a pain that I had never experienced before. The pain of losing my mom, that was a pain like no other. This one was a different type of pain. And they were almost equal to how much grief I felt afterward. And I slowed down quite a bit after this. I couldn't go in front of a camera and smile without faking it. And then a week later, my dad had his routine cardiology appointment, and again, we thought it was going to be a routine appointment until they did an EKG because he had chest pains. I mean, he rated them pretty high, but we didn't expect his EKG to come back abnormal. And it indicated he had had a heart attack that morning. My whole focus, my whole lifestyle changed. We had to rush to the ER and get him admitted for an angiogram the very next day. I mean, when you hear about a heart attack, you essentially think they grab their arm and they immediately feel that exact indication when they feel a heart attack. They feel like an elephant is on the chest and just pressing down. My dad didn't feel that. I mean, granted, he has a heck of a pain tolerance. He has had heart disease for 18 years, and he's had chest pains for pretty much all those 18 years. He has a very high pain tolerance. So of course, when he has a heart attack, he's not really going to be able to really tell the difference. But anyways, we go to the next day and he has his angiogram. It was so early that I actually missed it. So when I got to the hospital, my dad's kind of sedated, and he opens his eyes and he says, "I have to have bypass surgery." And I'm like, what? I mean, I thought that usually when he has his angiograms, they put in a couple stents because he has some blockages. He had to get a quadruple bypass surgery. For people who don't know what a CABG is, a coronary artery bypass graft surgery, it's when they take blood vessels or arteries. For him, they took 2 out of his leg. Guys, I'm pointing at my leg, but you guys can't see it. They took 2 veins out of his leg, or vessels, and they had to take 2 from his mammary arteries. And when you have to take arteries from here, you have to crack the chest, but they have to crack it even more to get to those arteries. I can go on and on about this surgery. I mean, I researched it in detail, plus my aunt, she is a doctor, so she was able to kind of discuss it in detail. But the point of the matter is that it was a major surgery, months to recover from. And because it was a major surgery, he had to be there in the hospital for 11 days, and his recovery time, it could be anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 months. And so when he got home, I dedicated most of my time to his recovery. Cooking, cleaning, making sure that he was able to get his necessities done without having to cause any strain. And he was actually doing great these first 2 weeks after his recovery. I mean, it was like, man, this guy had major heart surgery. And then he got sick. We still don't know what happened, but it was to the point where I actually had to call an ambulance in order to get him back up because I couldn't pick him back up. He had no strength whatsoever. That brought him back to square one, basically back to where really he should have been in the hospital. But we ventured through. All of this is just so crazy. We ventured through and we got through it, and here we are 2 months later after recovery, and my dad's basically back to normal. He still has that weakness sometimes, but he's able to live independently now. So now we are back here where we were before, but there is exciting things coming our way. Coming back here and seeing my books. I'm in the middle of doing some bookcases here, but seeing my books, I finally got my motivation back. So what are we bringing to the table? Well, of course, we're bringing in videos, of course. I am so excited to bring in my bookcases and really focus on my reading. And of course, my endless TBR that really needs to get dwindled down if I'm going to finish it in my lifetime. So thank you for sticking to the end, and I hope that you will watch all of my future videos and that you stick around for my reading journey. See you later.